Really? That's what you're gonna go with? Okay. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst accents on TV.
Yeah, and I think Jenny might be in trouble. I think Chris has got her involved in something, so if there's anything you know.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're ranking actors who put on an accent for their television roles with hilariously bad results. For the record, we know that acting is hard, and establishing a credible accent is even more challenging, but we just couldn't resist having a little fun pointing out these embarrassing examples. Number 10. Julianne Moore, 30 Rock. Pulling off a Boston accent can prove difficult, even for established and respected actors such as Julianne Moore.
You know what? That felt really good.
So I'll see you at lunch.
In fact, maybe her sterling reputation is part of why her wicked bad Boston pronunciation as Nancy Donovan in 30 Rock is so noticeable.
What? You're a wackadoo, Donaghy.
We're not knocking Moore's prestigious accomplishments or general acting ability, but maybe she would have been better off leaving Beantown alone and either trying a different dialect or just using her normal speaking voice.
But every time you say what you don't want, you sound like a cranky cow, and you're not that. You're smart and you're fun.
Because this is just painful. Number 9. Michael Rapaport, Justified. Sometimes the best aspects of an actor's performance can be those subtle touches that allow them to sink naturally into a role. Sadly, there's none of that present when New York's own Michael Rapaport attempts his best southern drawl on the FX series Justified.
Just take him to the Vista Verde Motel in Miami, room 23. Yeah, Elvis will be there waiting for me.
The actor's character, Daryl Crow Jr., is all but a caricature, with Rapaport's performance hinging on deep inflections and drawn-out syllables that do no one any favors.
Damn, man, that was cool as ice.
Maybe it's the actor's close association with fast-talking East Coast characters that make this one fall so flat. Or maybe it just wasn't his ideal role.
Nah, man. My problem is with you, boy.
Number 8. David Tennant, Gracepoint. Hey, for our money, David Tennant is one of the finest actors to ever take on the iconic role of the Doctor in BBC's long-running series Doctor Who. His performance in crime drama Gracepoint, however, doesn't quite cut the mustard.
I gotta take a call. My last day at Lots to wrap up.
The show is actually a remake of the British series Broadchurch, with the Scottish actor portraying Detective Emmett Carver, but his attempt at a Californian accent just doesn't convince.
It all matters now. I need to have the facts, Joe. I gotta understand.
Tennant, for his part, has defended his creative choices, telling Scotland's Daily Record that he found trying different accents to be a fun part of the acting process.
Wow, you figured it out.
What?
Your phone.
Yes. Hi, Julianne.
Number 7. Yael Stone, Orange is the New Black. Some fictional characters, for better or for worse, are defined by their accents. Lorna Morello is one such character, embodying two big-time inflections, Massachusetts and New York.
You need to talk to Red. About what? You'll just need to talk to her.
To be fair, it must have been extremely challenging for Australian-born actress Yael Stone to try to meld such distinctive accents into one performance.
I don't know what you're talking about. I drive. I don't work kitchen.
However, the end result, while bold and captivating, never consistently falls into the character's Boston via Brooklyn backstory.
She came by the kitchen earlier to give Red an olive.
What?
Sure, it may be an essential character trait, but sometimes fake accents work better when actors turn down the dial just a little. Number 6. Jane Leeves, Frasier. Okay, so it may not be fair to single out Daphne Moon as the only character on Frasier to have an off accent, as there seems to be no real common dialect for all the actors who portrayed Moon's family.
Oh, hello. Caught me with my hand in the biscuit tin.
British fans of this Cheers spin-off took great pleasure in pointing out how different Jane Leeves' London area accent was from Daphne's Manchester roots, however. Despite actress Jane Leeves' claim that Moon's time in the US had caused the character's accent to shift.
I'm being much too hard on you. I'm just a little sensitive about my privacy.
Whatever the reason, we don't think it really hurt Daphne's charm, as she remained one of Frasier's most endearing characters throughout its decade-plus long run.
I
plan to shack up with Niles here, and damned if we aren't going to do it every night of the week.
Number 5. Most of the Manhattan Clan, Gargoyles. Now, we're gonna admit that we loved watching the animated series Gargoyles back in the 90s, but that doesn't mean we can't point out one glaring inaccuracy.
No matter who was at fault, I cannot condone fighting between their people and ours.
Specifically, if the title characters are originally from Scotland, why does only one of them have the accent?
Will you help me?
Very well, lad. I'm with you.
Hudson, voiced by American actor Ed Asner, is the only member of the Manhattan Clan that sounds Scottish, while the rest of them sound like their respective voice actors, including actress Marina Sirtis of Star Trek fame, and Keith David, whose other voiceover roles, we should admit, have won him an Emmy. Still, what gives? Number 4. David Boreanaz, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, David Boreanaz, bless your heart.
Come, make a scene, huh? Shall I?
We know you must have tried like hell to deliver a proper Irish accent when the writers of Buffy the Vampire Slayer showcased your character Angel's former evil self, Angelus, in flashback sequences.
You've got me and my women hiding in the luxury of a mine shaft. All because William the Bloody likes the attention.
Unfortunately, the end results don't do the Emerald Isle any justice, as the inflection sounds more stereotypical than natural. The fact that Boreanaz seems to have difficulty getting through an entire scene as Angelus likely made him grateful he could just speak in his own native accent for the rest of the show. Number 3. Chris Potter and Tony Daniels, X-Men. Okay, we know that Gambit's Louisiana heritage is a huge part of this comic book character's identity, but did the voice actors in the X-Men animated series from the 90s need to lay it on so thick?
Beastie is easy to shop for, no? Just buy the books with the most dust on them.
Chris Potter and Tony Daniels both provide Remy LeBeau with a thick Cajun drawl, steering dangerously close to self-parody during this cartoon's 5-season run.
That's the best kind of lie. One can't nobody prove.
Sure, it's probably tough to take something from the comic book page and make it one's own for all the world to hear, but maybe Gambit could have used a bit more subtlety. Number 2. James Doohan, Star Trek. Hands up if you think a Canadian actor is the best person for the job of imitating an outrageous Scottish accent.
Tell you we should have heard something by now.
Aye, Doctor, that we should.
If you agree, then maybe you were a big fan of actor James Doohan in his defining role of Enterprise engineer Montgomery Scotty Scott on the original Star Trek series.
I'm responsible for the safety of this ship.
Now, we're not going to pretend Doohan's over-the-top delivery isn't one of the most memorable things about Scotty as a character, but at the same time, we have to admit that it's just a little broad.
Unless Scotty's lying about his loss of memory.
I'm not lying, Captain. I don't remember a thing about the first 2 murders.
Then again, it's one of the most imitated accents ever for Trekkies around the world, so what do we know? Number 1. The entire cast, Narcos. Narcos may have proven to be a relatively successful series on Netflix, but one aspect that didn't score high marks was the hodgepodge of accents.
Dije que hable el señor José Luis.
Sure, some North American viewers might not have noticed anything wrong, but native Spanish speakers, particularly in Colombia, received the whole thing with a mixture of amusement and frustration.
¿Lo están tratando bien o qué?
Pues ahí más o menos.
The accents of the cast never seemed to gel, and Warner Moura, who plays Escobar, couldn't manage to shed his Brazilian cadence and pronunciation.
Dígale que no me contento con menos de 30.
Cartel de Cali no va a aceptar eso, Pablo.
30 millones.
For those who could differentiate, this left the show coming across as more cosplay than historical crime drama. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.